Hi, it's Anna Mason. In this watercolour tip video, I'm going to show you the simple layering up of paint I did to create these pale but 3D looking mushrooms. I began with a super watery beige mix and applied it across the mushrooms to match to the lightest areas I could see within the mushrooms. I worked within my pencil outline, adding a little more grey to the mix in just a couple of places on the underside. With that dry, I used a smaller brush to mark in the darkest parts of the mushrooms, which were mostly around the lower edges, adding a bit of texture to the edges as I painted because they'll need to transition fairly smoothly into a mid-tone colour. Next, I watered the dark mix down a little to work on the next darkest tones, overlapping into the now dry darkest tones to create smoother transitions into them. I varied the colours in the mix a little to match those in the mushrooms, adding a little more grey or a little more yellow-brown where needed. Then I watered the mix down again and I worked on the lighter midtones, the areas that connect with the darker midtones I just painted and the lightest tones that I painted first. Again, I made sure the layer underneath was dry and then I worked into the darker midtones as I applied this mix to smooth the transitions into them. At this stage we have the full tonal range painted, so the basic mushroom is taking shape. Now to add some finesse to create realism. I used a fine brush and went back to add a further layer to the darkest tones. Having worked on the mid-tones, I could now tell that these darkest tones needed to be darkened more. But I also began at this stage to add more detail with my brush technique, tuning in to looking at the smaller markings on the mushroom's skin and stalk rather than simply focusing on tone. I then did the same with the darker mid-tone mix and the lighter one, always making sure the paper I was painting onto had dried. Finally, I used my tiniest brush to add a further level of detail, really honing in on the tiniest markings that I could see in the mushrooms. And I also used a watery wash to make a colour adjustment to the underside of the stalk. With that done, they were finished. A full video class of these mushrooms is available now in my online school. If you've enjoyed this tip video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and even share this video with your friends via social media. And if you'd like to take one of my tried and tested video classes for free, visit annamasonart.com, where you'll find even more resources to help you pick up your brush and paint the way you've always wanted to. Remember, you won't improve your painting unless you make the time to paint, so be sure to schedule in some me time this week and paint something that you love. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another tip for creating watercolours with wow. Why did the mushroom get invited to all the parties?
'Cause he's a fun guy.
Yeah.